What's going on, everybody? DG back with another video, and I'm going to give you 5 tips for beginning bass players. Now, whether you're a complete beginner or a guitarist, or you're a guitarist trying to make a switch over to a bass, it never hurts to pick up a bass and learn. Even if you're playing guitar and you want to play both, it never hurts to pick up a bass and learn. The bass may come as easy to some people, or maybe a little harder because the bass strings are thicker than the guitar strings, but never underestimate the bass. A lot of people underestimate the bass and take it for granted. You see, the bass is unique and it has its own tone. It has a special place in music. If you listen very clearly, the bass has its own vibes and scales in music in any genre, basically. For example, listen to Master Blaster by Stevie Wonder. The bass riff, you can hear throughout the whole song. Number 1, do you have to use a pick for your bass? I get asked this question a lot. You don't have to use a pick if you don't want to. A lot of bassists feel like it's real sinful to use a pick with the bass, but little do they know that some of their favorite bassists uses a pick with their bass. Paul McCartney, David Ellefson, John Squire, just to name a few. They use picks with their bass and in the recording and in their live concerts. But if your type of music is more like funk or rock, a pick can be very helpful with the bass. But if you're more into like blues and jazz or pop or R&B, you wouldn't want to use your fingers, of course, because you can really catch those mellow muted tones. But either way, learning to play with or without a pick is a great way because it teaches you different elements in the ways of playing the bass. Number 2, if you are a beginner on bass and you're starting to learn how to play songs, don't go for the most difficult songs that you hear or your favorite song that has the best bass riff that you ever heard, but you don't know how to play it. I would recommend you learning some old classics like Temptations, the O'Jays, Four Tops, Smokey Robinson, etc. Songs back from the 60s or before. They have a lot of simple bass notes and scales and riffs in their songs. So basic, but the songs still sound so good. So learn how to play simple songs first. That way, you'll feel more comfortable moving around the neck, and your fingers will get an idea of how to play and move on different songs. That way, you will have more strength in your fingers, not just by doing simple exercises like a worm, but what they call a worm. That's good exercise, but when it comes to learning music, like actually playing, start off with simple songs. Number 3, this one actually hits home for me because I struggled with this one in the beginning when I first started playing. But don't be afraid to ask for help or ask questions about the bass. A lot of people tend to think just because they watch YouTube videos or learn by ear, they already know everything about the bass already. No. Ask questions around people that you know that plays bass, whether it be at work, at school, church, around your neighborhood, a friend, a family, wherever. If they play bass, don't hesitate to ask questions. Even take some online lessons, or your local store. Ask if your local stores have, if your stores give lessons. Your local music store, like Guitar Center. Guitar Center gives lessons, but don't be afraid to ask questions, especially with social media nowadays. You can get in contact with almost everybody, even your favorite bassist or people around the community that plays bass. Ask questions about the bass, ask for help. That helps a lot through time, especially as a beginner. A lot of people struggle, especially beginners. A lot of people struggle with asking questions because they're nervous, because they're professional bassists. They feel like the professional bassists are so good, they don't have time to give them any tips. But if you have any questions, ask a friend, ask a neighbor. You can even ask me. Ask me on YouTube, on my social media, Instagram, Twitter, 112DZ_. This is not to give me a shout out, but if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask anybody. Asking questions helps a lot. Tip number 4. Now this tip is basically how your posture is when you're playing bass. Now when you're playing the bass or guitar or whatever, you want to have a relaxed posture. You want to relax your wrist. Basically your whole body needs to be relaxed when you're playing bass. You just want to relax your pick and wrist onto the bass. Just plucking it, just relaxing. Now, when you're pushing down on a string, you want to have like this cup look on your finger. Your hand needs to be like a C almost, and then you're playing it on the neck. Your wrist, not your wrist, but your forearm. When you're playing with your forearm needs to be straight on your cup hand when you're holding the bass. As you can see, my forearm is straight, but I have like this cup look on my hand. When I play, I have this cup look on my hand, and just playing around, just not even thinking about it, just relaxed playing. Basically, I'm relaxed. I'm just playing, having a good time, just messing around. And that's another thing with your posture. If you're right-handed, you want to have the bass sitting on your right leg. If you're sitting down, you want the bass on your right leg. When you're playing a bass, of course, you have your right hand to pluck the strings, and your left hand while you're pushing down on the strings when you're playing. But the same thing with the left leg. If you're left-handed, you want to have the bass sitting on your left leg, and the bass, of course, will be flipped over, on this side. But you'll be playing with your left hand, of course. Posture is everything. You don't want to look like this, and then you're playing, and then all of a sudden you can catch a cramp on your body, and you won't feel comfortable, of course, and you won't look right, you won't sound right. So posture is everything. Just have a relaxed body. A lot of people always stress and think about it. Is my posture right? Do I look right? Just relax, calm yourself down. Just make sure you're comfortable enough, and then just go ahead and start jamming. Number 5, last tip. Do I use 1 finger, 2 fingers, 3, 4, maybe more? That is up to you. Typically, if you're not using a pick playing bass, you're most likely using your pointer and your middle finger, your index and your middle finger. That's how most bassists play their bass. They use their index and their middle finger. Not a lot of people, but very few people use their whole hand, all 5 fingers. It's basically up to you, whatever's comfortable to you. If you want to use your whole hand, you can. You using your whole hand does show that you have more talent. No, not more talent, but I don't want to say more talent, but it shows that you're very versatile using your whole hand, and you can play a lot faster using the whole finger. But most people usually use 1 the index or the middle finger. Me personally, I use these three, not counting when I'm slapping it, but I usually use these three fingers, and I always like cuff my pinky, but most bassists use the pointer and middle finger, or index and middle finger, whatever you want to call it. Well, y'all, that's it for this video. I hope that this helped a lot. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Leave it in the comment section below, or like this video, subscribe, turn on that post notification bell so you know whenever I upload a video, you'll be able to watch it. Also follow me on my Instagram and Twitter at 112DZ_, and also I'll be having a lot more bass covers, a lot more tips coming up pretty soon, and yeah, I'll be posting a lot more. So check out my most recent video of my of Kirk Franklin looking out for me. But if you have any questions or requests that you want me to do, just let me know, ask me, and I'll be happy to help. All right, so I'll see y'all next time. I'm happy to help, and I appreciate y'all, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.